You're listening to KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine.
The opinions and views expressed in this program do not reflect those of KUCI, its management, or the UC Board of Regents. To find out more about this talk show or other talk shows broadcasting on KUCI, log on to our website at kuci.org or check out the latest program guide.
This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Skylight Theater for the world premiere of America Adjacent.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Bonnie Alvarez. I am the playwright of the play America Adjacent.
So, question, why did you decide to write this piece?
I was inspired by this article about Chinese birthing houses that were raided in the LA area. But I think I was inspired by, the question of the American dream. It's always something that I've always been examining, especially as a child of immigrant parents, and how it's marketed abroad and what the reality of, attaining such a dream is once you're here.
My parents were also immigrants, so I guess I'm a child of an immigrant too. And basically, sometimes he would say some things, or he would do something. I have no idea why he would be doing that. He can never communicate to me. I will never be able to understand why he did what he did.
Yeah, you really never know what your parents do or what they have done to create the life that we are so blessed to live.
That's true. Plus also, sometimes I see myself in my father. He would do something. I say, I'm never going to be like my father. I would do the exact same things. So I'm hoping a lot of my good points actually probably came from him. You know what I mean? Probably some of my bad points came from him too, but a lot of my good points came from him probably.
No, yeah, absolutely. We are definitely a product of our parents. And, good parents always instill the values in you that should be lasting.
So I hope basically we being children of immigrants, they had a tremendous sacrifice to come here, I guess. So I hope that says a lot. Well, again, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with?
I'm Sandy Velasco. Born in the Philippines, but grew up in LA. Yes, and I play Amy in the America Adjacent world premiere at the Skylight Theater, written by Bonnie Alvarez. I love my character. She is, for the most part, is a comic relief, but at the same time, she is so positive about life. As long as her kid, her baby is going to be okay, she's going to be in good hands. And she tries to be the peacekeeper, and I think I'm very close to that in real life. So I love her character. She's the bright light in this dark scenario, and she brings hope. She brings her faith in it, so I love that aspect of her too. She brings color to sometimes what seems like a very black and white or gray area. So I love it.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They will see life happen on stage. A Filipino-American story that's brought to life. It's the immigrant story, it's the women's story, it's sisterhood, it's motherhood, it's all kinds. And I think it transcends not only the Filipino-American story, but it's every blank American story, right? So just fill it in with any immigrant story. I think anybody can really relate to it. I think that's why it's so universal. Everyone should see it, and I'm sure they'll think of friends, family members, cousins, whoever, that will remind them of the stories that we all have. So it's a great piece, so come.
They say great theater is always a reflection of our times. With things like, say, The Wall, with, say, the Democrats versus Republicans. What are your thoughts on something like that?
I think just like this piece, I think it's great to have a stance on either one, or maybe not. But I think it's important to be open. You know what I mean? Like even in this story, we just ask people to come, have an open mind, because we might think that our way is better than the other, or that what they're they're doing is wrong. But I think once you get to know more stories, you get to know more people, then you will be more empathetic. So it's not so quick to be like, you know what, you're wrong and I'm right. You know, like I think that's what we want to share. At least that's what I would like to share in being a part of this piece. It's like, you know, come and it doesn't matter what you think, meaning just be open, you know, because maybe it will shed light to what you believe and maybe it'll strengthen it or maybe it'll just expand it. You know what I mean? So I really hope people will come and see it.
Well, I hope so also. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, my name is Ashley Marcus. I'm on KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with
Hazel Lozano, playing the administrator in America Adjacent. She's fabulous and strong and knows how to get what she wants.
So question, if my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see 6 strong Filipino women and 1 strong Filipino American woman and the differences between those cultures and also the ways that we hurt each other.
I love anti-heroes. How's your character an anti-hero? I mean, is she good, she bad, or what?
I think it's very easy to label her as bad, but I think that's the thing about the ways that we use each other that's interesting about the character and about the play, is that ultimately we're in a system, we try to make the best life that we can for each of our families and ourselves, given what we have. And so what you see on stage is just a little blip of a larger story, and hopefully the audience will take away that there's so much more to the story.
They say that great theater is a reflection of our times. With our times the way they are, with people trying to build a wall, with left versus right, with, you know, white supremacy on the rise and all that. What are your thoughts on the times right now?
It's rough. I mean, that's a huge question. As far as the play goes, I hope that when people come to see it, what they'll see is the humanity in the people who they often don't even think about. There are a lot of invisible people in America, and there are also a lot of people who pass as decent human beings who do a lot of really shitty things. So, yeah, I hope that they see both of those sides within themselves and their families.
Well, I hope my viewers come by and see it too. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Hi, my name is Ashley Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with
Tony Catano. I'm very excited for this work to be out and that we have a cast that's all female and all Filipino. And I'm really, really proud of the work that we've done here tonight.
Great. And which character did you play?
I play Paz Locsin. She has been very privileged and babied her entire life. So she's in arrested development. She's somewhat of an adolescent, and her coming to a new country, being away from all her comforts, and also becoming a mother is what allows her to grow as a human.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
A lot of women having a lot of fun and being incredibly hormonal.
You know, they say great theater is a reflection of our times. Our times has influenced so much of it. What is the influence of our times? Say like the wall, say like the immigration, say Democrats versus Republicans, the way that the country is being polarized. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's very unfortunate, but the one thing I am grateful for about this particular presidency is that it aired all of our dirty laundry. So now there's no denying that we do have a massive divide between the parties, and people who are incredibly racist have made themselves known, which is great. So now we can actually deal with them. But immigration is such a complicated subject. I don't think any person is illegal. And that's pretty much how I feel about that.
Okay. This topic, again, is so timely because I guess my parents were immigrants too. And again, it's something that's so incredibly important because we're all immigrants. Mm-hmm. You know, so I guess they could have deported George Washington or something. You know what I mean? So well, basically, I think it was very timely. I hope all my viewers come to see it. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for coming.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Ariane Villarreal. I'm an actress. I am from Cincinnati, and I've been in LA for 4 years. Today's actually my 4-year anniversary in LA, which is wild. And I play Davina in America Adjacent. Davina is a nice girl. She's pregnant, and she has a bit of a secret, but I don't want to spoil the secret for you.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see an amazing Filipina cast with really real characters that you probably know in your own life, and an incredible story that's really relevant and really heartwarming and makes you think. Yeah.
You know, they say great theater is a reflection of our times. You know, with the polarization of America, with, say, the wall people are trying to build, you know, with us being in California, you know, what are your thoughts on the modern times that are going on right now?
I mean, obviously things are very tumultuous in our society right now, but I think when the world is in chaos, that's when great art happens, because we try to make sense of it from our own point of view, and that's what Boney did, I think, with his writing.
Well, I hope all my viewers come by and see it. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Evie Abbott. I've been acting in Los Angeles since 2011. I absolutely love it. I think this is such a great opportunity for Filipinos to come out there and, well, anybody to come out here and just get their work produced. It's such a great time to be an actor and an artist, I think. There's so much freedom and so many platforms to have your work shown. So everybody get out there and do your thing, what you love doing.
Great. And which character did you play again?
I played Janelle May. Okay, I think she's a very misunderstood character. She ends up making a decision which affects her child. I mean, we all do that, obviously. But you know, I think there are things that she's sort of torn between what could happen for her personally when what she believes she needs to do for her child in order for her child to have a better life. And so, but we have to leave the final decision to the audience how they feel about this character. So, yeah.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
You should expect a wonderful group of really cohesive actors come together, exploring a subject that is so relevant to today, especially the person we have in the presidency right now. It's very, very relevant.
You know, they say great art is a reflection of our times. What is the reflection nowadays with, say, people trying to build a wall, with, say, you know, people trying to make open borders, people trying to, white supremacy being on the rise, and China, say, trying to a trade war with China. What are your thoughts on the times right now?
I think once again, it's such an exciting time to live. If you look at it a certain way, it's like there's so many opportunities for us now, so many different ways for us to express ourselves. I think it's a great time to be alive and to be an artist as well.
Okay, well, I hope all my viewers come by and see this piece. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support.
America Adjacent will be playing at Skylight Theater from February 16th to March 24th. For more information, go to www.skylighttheater.org. This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Ruskin Group Theater for the world premiere of The Joy Wheel.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with...
Hi, Jason Alexander. How are you?
Great. Well, first of all, I'm a fantastic fan of yours. George Costanza from Seinfeld.
Thank you.
Basically, with all the stuff you can be doing, why do you want to do this show?
Well, clearly because the show spoke to me. It's, I think it is very relevant. I think it's very timely. I think it has a lot to say. Thank you. See, and there's a review. It's about what's happening to a lot of people in the country right now, and it's very funny. It's very entertaining. It's very touching. It just, it spoke to me. You do things because they speak to you.
I agree. I thought it was hilarious. It reminded me a little bit about the 80s about Seinfeld, and also about the Trumpian era going on around. So I thought it was just very timely, and it struck a lot of things. Now, question: as a director, 80% of your job is casting. What do you look for in your casting?
You have an idea in your head of what the characters might come off as, what qualities they embody. In a show like this, you're looking for people that have comedic ability. You're looking for people that have. In a theater this small, the actors have to be able to work very simply. You don't want to see the sausage being made. So you're looking for a range of ability. You're looking to see how the material sits on people and to see how they sit on it. And there's a little magical alchemy that has to happen. So.
This actually struck me because actually I'm from San Francisco. There's actually something called Playland. It used to be there. It's not there anymore. And I was like, are they talking about that? A lot of the plays, it just struck things like, about working hard, about fighting with your wife, about what am I going to do with the future. That all just hit me.
Yeah, that's kind of the world that a lot of people are looking at right now. Is their communities, their jobs, the country that they thought they knew, especially for old people of the age of these characters. The world is changing on them, and I find that a lot of people in the middle of the country, a lot of people in conservative neighborhoods, part of what they are so concerned about is that they don't recognize the changes happening in the world, and they think it's leaving them behind, and they are understandably frightened by that or concerned by that. So this is a play that I think talks to them in a gentle way, and tries to understand a little bit of what they're going through.
Well, I love the play. I love the quirky characters. I love the direction on it. Thank you very much for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Excellent. I am Dan Florek. Well, we're here at the Ruskin Theater, and it's opening night, and I love this play. It's been a wonderful experience, and I think it's become even more than I hoped it would be, and I'm loving doing it with a great cast, terrific script, and I love our director, Jason.
Great. And which character did you play?
I played the character Frank. You kind of have to see the play, but the point is this. Frank is a guy who is almost kind of an invisible guy. He does everything and no one ever kind of acknowledges. And throughout the play, he starts to get the courage and realize where he is and know that he has to make changes. And he does those changes for and with his wife. And I think he comes out in a very good place at the end.
I think he's kind of like the backbone of America. It's like these are the guys who actually build the roads. They're the plumbers. They're like the guys who actually, make your cars and all that. They're unsung heroes, but they actually, they're the reason why we're such a great country and all that. But they feel like, what have I really done with my life? You know what I mean?
Well, there's a part of that. I mean, there is definitely a sense of him being everyman, and I agree with that. He's a blue-collar guy from the Midwest. And see, that's a big part of it because you do everything, and you do it well, and all of a sudden, after 45 years, people are like, well, here's a plaque. And, you can feel unappreciated or certainly underappreciated. And luckily, he has a lovely, wonderful, supportive wife who helps him see that he is more than that and that he can indeed be appreciated.
Also, yeah, I saw the family. I love that about it. It was such a weird thing that there were echoes like from my childhood. Like remember, I actually grew up in San Francisco. There was actually something called Playland, in which was just a park there, and it was like you guys were talking about that. No, you weren't. They weren't talking about Playland. They were talking about something that just struck everybody. It's like
I think everybody knows a Playland or whatever it's called. Seven Flags, whatever it is. Everybody has been there at some point, and there was some favorite ride. There was something that truly affected you. And to have it come back in this play because of what Stella says, it's really kind of wonderful, and it leaves us, I think, on a pretty terrific high note. The crisis is over. There's still a lot of work to do, but I see hope here.
Also loved all the comedy. The actors were fantastic. The Tommy, some pretty interesting characters there that were kind of, larger than life and all that, which I thought was really exciting too. So I really enjoyed the performance tonight.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I think it's a great group of people. I did not know any of the other actors, but friends of mine did. And when I showed up, I mean, to me, it was a real treat. It was like a treasure chest of talent.
Yeah. Well, I really loved the performance tonight. I loved your performance also. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great time.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. Now I'm here.
Gina Hecht.
I had loved even Mork and Mindy's. I just love that show. It was one of my favorite shows.
Okay.
I remember you from that. I was just a very big fan of yours.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
So, question. Basically, which character you played tonight?
I played the character of Stella, who is this gorgeous soul who finds herself at a time in life where she and her husband are at a crisis in their lives.
You remind me a lot of my wife. Basically, we have our problems. We do things, but when we do things, it's the fights we have are for things that we actually have tried to do for each other. It's like we plan something for the evening night. She doesn't want to do it. So I planned this thing for you, and it's like that's the fight about it. It's never about like having an affair or gambling or anything. It's about I did this for you. You know what I mean?
Right. That's very interesting. I mean that is what they fight about in this play. Not fight about, but miscommunicate, and he thinks he's doing this wonderful thing for her, and it's the very thing she doesn't want done. So
yeah. Again, this play actually struck a lot of chords in me.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because it's kind of I actually grew up in San Francisco. There's actually something called Playland. It's not around anymore.
Uh-huh.
It was on the beach. It was like just a couple of rides in there, really small. And there was actually the wheel in there.
Oh, interesting.
Is he talking about this?
Oh, wow.
A lot of the play was like that. We basically just struck this chord. It's like, how did he know? You know what I mean?
That's very interesting. I wasn't familiar with the joy wheel. We had something else when I was growing up that wasn't quite what that is. But yeah, I do. I mean, when he describes it in the play, it's so beautiful. I mean, I feel like I know what it is now.
Well, I love the comedy. Some of it was pretty intense. Some of the characters were pretty dark and all that. But somehow, it's weird how you can make a dark character like that funny and at the same time feel really kind of terrified.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I've ever seen a play that goes quite this funny and quite this dark all in one evening.
I think it's because sometimes it's so real. It's like how the Trumpians, the middle class white guys, they're kind of losing their place. It's like being retired when you're 40 and you got nothing to look forward to. It's kind of like anarchy. You're worried about anarchy. Yeah. What's going to happen? It jokes about real stuff. That's why it's so so weird.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. I don't know that they're Trumpians per se. They're Republicans with solid Christian values in a background, and they care deeply about humanity, and so their values are reflected more as Republican, but not necessarily Trump supporters. I mean, we never say that we're Trump supporters, and I personally, I don't think Stella is. I don't think my character is. I think she's a Republican, but I don't think she voted for Trump.
Well, I think one of the other characters is a Trump supporter.
Well, that's for sure. That's true, but not me.
Well, I love the performance. I love your performance.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Maury Sterling. It's good to see you again, and just glad to be doing theater again at the Ruskin Group.
And which character did you play tonight?
I play Stuart. Stuart's a complicated dude. He's a prepper. He's preparing for the future, sort of with bug-out bunkers and bug-out plans and all that. He's very committed to what he believes in and thinks. He's also kind of a little bit lost, and I think he's reaching for things like that to give him a sense of security and safety in the world.
I loved your character. I always love the characters you play, whether you're playing Stalin or you're playing some Irish gambler who's addicted to gambling. So much depth in your characters. So much they have to say.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I guess it's what I'm drawn to. I feel really lucky I've gotten to play some of these characters. When you get writing like Ian McCrae's in this and some of those other parts you mentioned, if you have a script like that, that's what I look for, because then it just then there's something to do. And these writers who have created characters who are interesting, and yeah, it's funny, but they still have real heart to them. There's substance. So I'm grateful to get a run across scripts that make my job easier.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
You're going to get you're definitely going to get some humor. You'll get some dark comedy. You'll get some really fleshed out characters. You get a sweet, good message about love, and it also is a play that gets into kind of the moment we're in our country of opposing forces and how people deal with that. And I'm hoping a little bit of a surprise. It'll surprise you a little bit in terms of how these characters do what they do, and then the choices they make in the face of how to deal with their future and things like that.
Weird thing about this play, it kind of struck me in certain things. Like it would say something like, it would talk about I'm from San Francisco. There's a place called Playland there, and I'm not sure if you know what it is. It used to be there. It's not there anymore. It had these rides in them exactly like it was talking about. It just struck a chord to me. It was all the plays with that. Sometimes she would talk about a pool, and then I would get it. She would talk about about her children. I would get it. He would talk about working hard, for 45 years at a place. I get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I do know what you mean. I think what that makes me think about is, again, that's Ian's writing and Jason's directing and the actors. But I think it starts with Ian really creating characters that, even though they're in a little bit of a world, we're not quite sure where they are, what year it is, they have substance, and you get that they're real people. And Jason did an amazing job, as did all my other cast members, of sort of bringing those characters out. And so it's a little bit magical. There's a touch of that, but at the same time, you believe them.
Definitely funny, definitely hilarious. Because your characters, usually you play these really serious characters like Stalin and a murderer. You played a character, you made him kind of intense, kind of dark, scary, but also extremely funny.
It's been a real treat to do some comedy. And again, the minute I read this play, we did a reading of it, and I went, I hope I can do this. And luckily with my TV schedule, it's worked out. But yeah, because I loved it, because there is humor. And he's an interesting character. You can just go so many different ways with it. You can go, and sometimes you can hit the funny lines dark, and then you can hit the dark lines funny, and it's a treat to find a character like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I love the performance. I especially love your performance tonight. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks, man. It's great to see you again. Thanks a lot.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
My name is Lee Garlington. Well, first of all, honored that you came to our play tonight. This is our opening night of the Joy Wheel, and we have had a lot of fun putting it on. It's very exciting now to have our first audience.
Great, and which character did you play?
I play Margie. She's sort of the wild one.
Yeah.
Well, I think what it is, it's the story of a couple, Dina and Dan's characters, who are at a crossroads, and they're each being pulled in different directions by their friends. So I'm sort of the wild one, pulling her towards her sexuality and openness, and Dan is being pulled towards sort of the dark side.
I thought it was very funny. Basically almost like an 80s type comedy where you basically have, like, you know how they always have this colorful friend who's like wilder, larger than life, they're like exciting and all that.
Yeah.
And they're really hilarious. That was you.
That was me, yeah. And it is set in Joy, Illinois. So we didn't specify what time period it was, because we do mention Grenada. But other than that, it is sort of that Midwestern sensibility of not being affected a lot by the political climate, but more about their own little worlds.
Yeah. Also, this thing struck a chord with me on certain things. It's kind of like they would say something that would hit me from my childhood or an experience I'm going through. There's actually something called Playland from where I'm actually from. I'm from San Francisco. And actually, I thought they were talking about Playland, but they weren't talking about Playland. It's just something that hits everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the playwright, what he's talking about is actually a ride in Santa Cruz, where he's from his childhood.
Well, I love the performance. I thought you guys were hilarious. I love the characters. Like, your character was larger than life and hilarious. So thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Ian McRae. I wrote a play called The Joy Wheel, and was directed by Jason Alexander, and it opened tonight at the Ruskin Theater, which is located at 3000 Airport Avenue at the Santa Monica Airport.
So, question, why did you decide to write this piece?
I wrote the play about five years ago, and it started out as a writing exercise between Frank and Stella, the two main characters. And I can't remember exactly when all the other elements came into it, but I knew that it was something to do with female power and empowerment, and I just got them talking or arguing, I should say, and I just sort of, my imagination, I just followed their train of argument and thought, and it turned into the Joy Wheel.
I really like this piece. It had this weird kind of foreshadowing in my mind, because there's actually a place in San Francisco. I grew up from San Francisco, called Playland.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that what you wrote?
Well, I grew up in Santa Cruz. So Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk was very much like Playland. And we still have our beach boardwalk. I'm not sure if Playland is gone. But we had a lot of the same rides. Yeah, in that Joy Wheel, that disc, we call it the pancake, but it was actually, the research I did, that same Joy Wheel ride, you could find it in Edwardian times in England and in Australia and Germany and around the country. It was a very popular ride, like a merry-go-round. Yeah.
Yeah, my point is basically you didn't write about it, but it kind of hit a piece of my background that kind of resonated. And a lot of this play was like they would say subtle things about maybe survivalism,
right?
About fighting, about marriage and all that.
Right.
It would just resonate with me, and I don't know why. Just like that, the way that the Playland resonated with me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's for Frank, it started out as him, doing it like an earthquake kit or an emergency kit with some batteries and some candles and some, a few things put away for a rainy day, trying to be prepared, a generator. And Frank has a little tendency to go a little overboard on things. And he just kept going and he kept going, and before he knew it, he had found himself, sort of falling, between trying to really honestly protect his family and be conscientious about, if something goes wrong. But he just went way too far, and he got himself involved in this crazy, survivalist group, and he kept it all from his wife. And he was all doing it for the right reasons, but it ended up, coming back to bite him.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
I hope they see a couple that's struggling. That's maybe the world is spinning a little too fast for them, because these are people in their 60s, and maybe they've been forgotten a little bit or looked past, but they're just as vital and important to our country as anybody. And I think you'll find a very, very, I think you'll enjoy the journey that you take with them as they kind of get pulled in separate directions and find their way back, to the reasons that brought them together, 40 years ago when they first were married.
Well, I agree. Basically, I feel that, first of all, like you actually said, it gets him in trouble, but he didn't intend to. That's the things that always get you in trouble. You never intend. You always want to do it for family, but it's, I'm not talking about having an affair. I'm talking about, saying, okay, hey, I just bought an RV. We're going to travel around the country.
Right.
Why didn't you tell me I don't want to travel around? Things like that. That's all married life. It's compromise. It was just such a beautiful slice of life. It echoed so much with so many things that are going on in this world. With Trump, with middle class white men actually losing their jobs to immigrants. It just spoke to all that. So I thought it was just so incredibly timely that I just thought it was just wonderfully done.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hope you come see it.
Well, thank you once again for being on the show.
It plays Thursdays through Saturday at 8 and Sunday at 2. The Ruskin Theater.
All right. Thank you once again for being on the show. The Joy Wheel will be playing at Ruskin Group Theater from February 15th to March 24th. For more information, go to www.ruskingrouptheater.com. This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Santa Monica Playhouse for their presentation of The Marriage Zone. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Matt Harrison. I am an actor. I've been out here in LA for 19 years. I produced TV commercials for 12 years, and about 5 years ago came back to acting full-time. I'm having a blast.
Great. And which character did you play?
I played Cal. He's a guy who is pretty happy with his life and where it's at this particular point in time. He loves his 15-year-old son. He loves his wife, but she's pushing them to get things going in a better direction. For her son, for her, she wants a bigger house, a better neighborhood, better schools. And Cal doesn't want to put that pressure on us because we're doing good right now and we should enjoy our lives.
That's the story of everyone's life.
Right? Exactly. A woman's always pushing you to do more and become more. And Cal just say he wants to enjoy what he's got. And his wife isn't satisfied with that. So there's that tension at the very beginning. And that's what leads us on the journey of what's going to happen to their future.
I love the piece. It was first of all, it was very intelligent. It was very witty, but the reason it was witty because it kind of, you know how it hits you exactly where you live?
Right. Well, the thing I like about this play so much is that it's real life, and it talks about real things. And it talks about love and how difficult that can be, and how we lose perspective sometimes when we get lost in the details of the day-to-day and lose the big picture. And what this play does by bringing the young couple of us 20 years ago and us 20 years into the future, it lets us see the path that we've been on. And do we want to careen out of this and lose the big picture of what we have, which the older couple ends up doing, or do we want to go back to that youthful idealism of what marriage and love and a family is all about and what's really important? And that gets resolved by the end of the play, which you have to come see to find out.
I feel this is almost therapeutical. It's like, anyone going through therapy, because a lot of people nowadays with all the, basically nowadays with all the divorces and all that, and I do a lot of work on radio. Do you know how much radio is dedicated towards therapy? Just marriage therapy. Constantly, every single day. Not like, once a week or a series. Every single day for like the last 30 years, there has been a radio program that does nothing but marriage therapy.
Yeah, well, think about it. And now, look, marriage is opened up to everybody, right? Gay people can get married, trans can get married. So everybody can enjoy the same problems that marriage brings, which is you have two people in an intense relationship that have to depend on each other every day and deal with each other, and that gets frustrating as all when you lose what you have and the support you have for one another and that love. So yeah, it's crazy, man. But I think it's important that when it boils all down to it, if you're with the right person, which we emphasize in the play, that you can work through those things and you end up a better person on the other side of it.
Well, I love the performance. It was very funny, very witty. The acting you guys did, great timing, great interplay between each other. Almost felt like, you guys were actually your real characters, which is impossible, but I actually felt that. And I just loved the performance tonight.
Thank you so much. We're so glad you came. We appreciate it. Tell your friends.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here
with Monica Young. I played Beth in The Marriage Zone. I'm an actress that grew up in Kansas and moved out to Los Angeles with big dreams and plugging away, working hard.
Great. And which character did you play again?
I played Beth. Beth is just in her midlife. She's got a lot going on. She wants to move up in the world and not stay in the same place. And that seems to make her marriage fall apart. So she needs to readjust her priorities and be happy with what she has.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
You're definitely going to laugh. It's one of the funniest plays I've ever been a part of. You might cry. We're just going to take you on an emotional ride. It's a really fun, emotional ride. But mostly funny.
That's true, and I think the humor comes from something, because it's kind of like, true humor is actually poignant. It kind of hurts a little bit.
It comes from the deep guts of what's wrong and sad, and you have to laugh at yourself, or what's the point?
Right. It's kind of like I was told, the way to do it in humor. It's like, first of all, you have the setup, and then you have the takedown. So it's kind of like your life is a setup. It's like in the beginning they tell you these fairy tales, in the midlife they tell you fairy tales, and then they tell you the fairy tale, and they say, why didn't it work out? Because it's a fairy tale.
Exactly. You understand. You got it.
When I think about marriage also, I was always wondering, it's like, I've heard the statistics that 50% of all marriages fail, but in the old days it wasn't like that. And then everyone tells me in the old days the murder rate was just higher. So basically, it's like, but I always wondered, is marriage really? Because I hear in Europe they just don't get married anymore. It's just not necessary anymore. But what are your thoughts about that?
I think nowadays you can do whatever makes you feel better, whether it's on a piece of paper or it's just your own commitment. Then whatever floats your boat, then I'm fine with that. I'm not here to tell people they have to get married. They can be in a committed relationship for their entire life and call it marriage and call it a day.
Well, I like the play though. It was very optimistic. You might say it was a little too optimistic, but again, I think that's just what we need. It's just I hate to say it again. It's the setup again. It's a fairy tale. It's a fairy because it was a fairy tale. That's why. But that's what it was.
Yeah, it absolutely was a fairy tale. I mean, you get your happy ending in this play, and we just want people to walk away happy and feeling good and feeling like they had a great night and got a good laugh.
Well, I definitely had a great night. It was fantastic. It was funny, poignant. Struck me in some ways because I'm married also. So
you get it.
Yeah, I get it, and I loved your performance also. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, we really appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Mark Sand. Glad you came out to the show. It's really a lot of fun. It's all about the craziness of marriage over time, and how little things can get under your skin and blow up the marriage. And so today you saw the beginning, the middle, and the end. So anyway, the show's a lot of fun. Got a lot of laughs. Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. And actually, which character did you play again?
I played Mike. Mike is the older husband who has been through it, and I don't want to give away the plot or anything, but he and his wife have had some rough times.
I love this piece because it talks about basically real life. It's almost like who hasn't gone through things like this? It's like it's like the whole universe could come here,
Well, it is sort of a universal piece, and I think it borrows from things like Dickens' Christmas Carol. You get a view of the beginning, the middle, and the after, and what could be, and things that you can change in your life. So I think it has a universal message for married couples everywhere.
Well, as the older sage, do you have any sage advice for us?
Yes, always smile. No, that's not good advice. I would say always listen, and always expect to be listened to, and always make a little room for your partner.
Well, I loved your performance tonight. You fit right in. I thought you were really who you were,
Yeah.
And I loved your interplay with the rest of the cast. I loved the humor. It was just so funny, and it was just a piece that I just thoroughly enjoyed.
Well, that's nice of you to say. We had a great script from Jeff Gould, our director. Just really great laughs layered in, and because he and I are about the same age, I feel like he gave me all the laugh lines.
Once again, loved your performance. Loved the entire performance as a whole. Great. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Hello, Ashton. My name is J.C. Jewell. I played Liz in the play, and I had a great time. It's a fun part, and it came just to the right time because I went through a divorce myself, so it was very therapeutic for me. I loved it.
Great. And which character did you play?
Liz. Oh, Liz is a lot like me. Bitter, cynical, old. Sense of humor. No, Liz is just a really fun character, and I really enjoy playing Liz.
I love the characters. I mean, they were so complex. They were so, you know what I mean? You saw multiple layers of people. It was like the good, the bad, the
old, the ugly.
yeah. But again, it was so realistic. This is a person. You take the good and the bad, and that's what marriage is like. A lot of good and a lot of bad. And that's what I loved about this. It was so. It made a joke that hit you in the points where that were just true.
And it really had a very good message too. I mean, you really stop and think. I remember one night when we did the show, there was a couple that said, "Oh my God," I think it was the wife or the husband that said, "You know what? I really have to be more in touch with how you're feeling, or be more sensitive to your needs." So it really does tell a message, and it gets things across, and it.
Yeah, but it was also very dramatic at times, very entertaining too. Funny and entertaining, dramatic. It made you laugh, it made you cry. You know what I mean? I mean, it was just perfect.
Yeah, you get all of it. All the best emotions in 1 hour and 10-minute play.
Well, I love the performance. I love you, and also thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm the KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Leslie Stratton. I play Ellie in The Marriage Zone. It's a fun, dramatic comedy, and I've had such a blast with my cast, getting to know everyone, and really working together. It's been so fun. Ellie, wow, she is still very naive. She's in her 20s. She just got engaged. She has this huge outlook on a positive life. She's going to be married forever. She found her husband. She's so excited. But however, in the play, it all comes kind of crashing down on her when she finds out she's going to someday possibly get divorced. So Ellie is just, I would say, a very sweet soul. She sees the best in everything and really wishes for the best.
I love the piece. I loved your performance also. But I got a question for you about marriage. Again, it's been a while since I was your age. Yeah. What's your opinion about marriage? Do you think there still is the fairy tale wedding behind the end of it?
It's so hard. I really believe this play has made me really think about all of that. Yes, I'm a hopeless romantic. So I do believe that there's still, a lifelong partner out there for me, that I'll be married forever and we'll be in love. However, I am smart and realize that it's going to be a really hard thing to do that. But I'm a hopeless romantic. I really hope that someday I will find that person.
If my viewers decide to come back and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Anybody that comes to see this is going to go for quite an adventure. It's a ride between laughing your butt off and then also crying your eyes out. I think it's really great to just see the spectrum of what marriage is and what it can be, and how, you're super in love and then you can fall out of love over time. So I think people who come to see the show are just in for kind of a wild ride. It's fun.
Again, it was good to see the fairy tale, but also the realism and the cynicism, and then seeing yourself in it. So it was just a really well done piece.
Yes, thank you so much. We have a blast with it, and it is nice to go to that naive space and to keep that young in heart. I love it. Thank you.
Well, I love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Cody Fields. Honestly, I'm just an actor, and I'm so honored to be a part of this extremely talented cast. I've been acting for about 6 years now, and Marriage Zone has just been such a blessing for me and my life. And one of the great things is that I'll often have older couples come to me after the show, and they'll actually tell me, they're like, "Hey, just so you know, you're younger, but once you get older, these things that you see in the show, they're going to come back to you, and you're going to see them all over the place. So learn while you can." And I really take that to heart. So.
And which character do you play?
I play Ryan. Ryan is interesting because even though he doesn't have as many lines in the show, he definitely is both a product of his parents, and he's someone that's going to learn from them too. So when he has his incident in the middle of the show, that really is just a change for the parents to look at it themselves. But one of the other things that they might want to consider is that Ryan is going to see all of the things that his parents have. The parents are the primary relationship that Ryan's going to be looking for his own life, for his own relationship. And so some of these issues that come up are going to be very prominent in my life, as Ryan, seeing that being the primary couple in my life.
I really love this piece. I mean, basically, if my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Honestly, they should expect to see a reflection of how life really is. Of course, I would say that I'm 18 years old, but it's just such a realistic undertaking. Marriage, it has its happy moments and its sad moments, and there's just a lot of character nuance. It's you can just tell that the people are real, and it helps connect more. Knowing that these characters are real people, and it's not just just love each other. It's a simple solution. It requires a lot of effort and a lot of care to go into that kind of relationship.
That's very inspirational, very deep for a young kid, but also a little idealistic. Because again, there's also other things in the play that will tell you that life isn't that simple. People change, things get messy, and again, that's what I loved about the play. Also, it was very realistic. It was kind of like, come on, marriage is hard. It's tough stuff. I actually
I actually once told a person about marriage. They said, marriage is nothing but compromise. That person told me, isn't marriage supposed to be about love? And I told them, love is about sacrifice. Do you know that? And then basically they were just staring me at it for a while, but I think they finally eventually understood what I was saying.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it said that, everyone kind of glorifies marriage, but, marriage, it makes you see the best and the worst in somebody. Like, really, you're spending every moment of every day with them. And the reason why I guess it would be beautiful is because it's someone that you can trust, knowing that even with your flaws and with everything that you do wrong, they're still going to love you back and trust you, no matter how ugly it gets, no matter what you do. They're going to be there. And that's, it's not an idealistic thing. Every marriage has flaws, and there's always something that goes wrong, or like someone, you'll see the bad sides of people, but no matter what, you're there for each other, and I guess that's what's so beautiful about it.
Okay, well, I really love the piece, and I really enjoyed your acting, too. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI, 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Jeff Gould. I'm the writer and director of the play The Marriage Zone.
I love this piece. It was hilarious. It was funny. I think it actually kind of helped my marriage a little bit.
Your wife's not here with you tonight, though, huh? She didn't want to come?
Well, actually, I see a lot of plays and all that. She's got to take care of the kids, you know what I mean, and all that. This is more like work than anything else. She enjoys the plays, but afterwards, when I got to do all the interviews, she doesn't enjoy that.
Well, come back again and bring her.
So, question: why did you decide to write this piece anyway?
Why did I decide? So that I could make people laugh and entertain them. I don't know. I was married for 20 years and I'm divorced now, but there was a lot of material there, so I just kind of got to get it out.
Well, again, I thought it was fantastic. It was funny. It was humorous, and I hear it's actually being extended too. So this actually had a run before, right?
Yeah, this actually had 2 runs. Well, it ran originally 2 years ago in the Valley, and then it ran in the fall here, and then it was down for 2 months, and now this is a reopening tonight.
Yeah, I've actually been speaking to the cast members, and I've commented that basically it's like, the reason it's so funny is it's true, it's kind of poignant here and there. It just hits you, it digs at you a little bit, and that's where the true humor comes from.
Yeah, real life. I took a lot of things out of real life, then you twist it and change it, and it's a little Twilight Zone. I'm a Twilight Zone fan, so the supernatural, the time travel and all.
Yeah, well, again, I thought it was a fantastic masterpiece, because again, like I said, I was married. Well, I fell in love. I was romantic. It was a fairy tale. I later found out it was a fairy tale. How could I be so stupid? I mean, I should have been listening to more people, but eventually, things kind of worked out. So I understand where things went to, because marriage takes a lot of work. It's not, it's when they say it's a commit, that's a real thing. So I really love this piece. I think it helped my marriage.
Thank you. And you're still married. That's good. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for being on the show.
All right, thanks for coming.
The Marriage Zone will be playing at the Santa Monica Playhouse from January 19th to March 31st. For more information, go to www.brownpapertickets.com/events/3919605. This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Greenway Court Theater for their presentation of Miss America's Ugly Daughter. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI, 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Bara Grant. Tonight I performed a play that I wrote called Miss America's Ugly Daughter. And that's what it's about. It's about feeling not very pretty when you're little, and even if you get to be pretty when you grow up, you always carry with you the sense that you are not pretty, that you are ugly.
Every time I meet someone, and they come up with this very interesting story, I'm just amazed. I'm sometimes shocked that people actually went through this, but you just seem so incredibly normal, you know what I mean?
Well, if you knew me better, you know I am not incredibly normal. But a lot of people survive way worse childhoods than I had, and the thing we forget is that unfortunately they stay with us, even though we achieve greatness in whatever field we're in. You remain a child somewhere in your soul, and if you're not treated well, you remain a kind of sad, crippled child. But we all survive.
So if my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Well, it's extremely funny in a very dark way. It's darkly comedic. And it has layers then of great drama as well. because you can't have laughter without tears unless you're just writing a pure comedy, but this is both. And the audiences seem to love it. We've been sold out night after night, and it seems to be working.
You know, actually, I obviously I watch a lot of theater, and people actually write a lot of screenplays. You know, people actually try to make up people like your mother. You know, she's a classical theater character.
Right, you couldn't make my mother up. She existed. And you only see a little section of her here. And she did pass away, which allowed me to write what I wrote for tonight. But behind these stories are other stories and other stories. She was larger than life. She was a real character. And she did a lot of things in her life, but growing up with her was a very specifically scary experience.
Actually, she grew up in a very interesting time. It was a time when women really didn't have the same rights as men. Even now, they don't get paid the same. But back then, it was even worse. And she was in a business where you were treated like a piece of meat. So maybe she was going through her own problems at that time, probably.
Yes, she did. She won when she was only 21, and she was a Jew, the first and only ever Jew. And she won at a time of great anti-Semitism in this country because in 1945, most of America blamed the Jews for the war. And so she went out and she saw signs that said no Jews, no dogs. She wasn't allowed to, fill out the year that she had, because people didn't want her. The sponsors didn't want her posing in their bathing suits. Women didn't want her kissing their sons who were vets returning from the war. They blamed her, and she had to stop halfway through her tour because no one wanted her. And that's when the Anti-Defamation League called her and said, "You've got to work for us and speak out against hatred and bigotry to kids in high school who are still young enough where they can feel compassion for people who are treated badly just because they're Jewish or black." And she made quite a difference. She was really a brilliant speaker.
I actually once spoke to a person, and I asked them, why do you do this? Because they actually expressed a lot about their childhood, too. And they said, this is actually cheaper than therapy. That's why.
Right. Well, if you can take anything and put it into an art form, be it painting or writing, it helps. It's curative.
Yeah, also it brings back someone said to me, all great artists have to suffer if they want to do traumatic art. Do you think actually your suffering actually created this? I mean, do you think you have to suffer to be a great artist?
No, I don't think so. I think I think it helps. It helps to have pain and to work from pain. But I know there are artists who were happy when they were little and just became great, and I envy them. But the suffering or the pain that I had did give me a lot of things to say. But I transformed most of it into comedy, and that's how to get it across.
Yeah, well, I love the piece because, again, I think Orson Bean once told me, basically, there's black comedy, there's Jewish comedy. The reason it's so funny is because they decided, instead of crying about their pain, to laugh about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. There's nothing better than laughing away a tear.
Well, I love the piece. I loved your piece also in it. And actually, it makes me feel, I guess it also makes me feel a little better about my childhood, too. Because I went through some things, and I sometimes don't understand why I went through those. But when I see someone like you, and I see your story and all that, I realize, maybe it made me a better person. Maybe my father, maybe my parents, they were probably going through some pretty bad stuff, too. Because our prior generation was pretty bad. But I just love the piece that you did tonight.
Oh, you're so lovely. Thank you for coming, and tell all your friends.
All right, thank you very much for being on the show again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Miss America's Ugly Daughter will be playing at Greenway Court Theater from February 8th to March 24th. For more information, go to www.missamericasugly.daughter.com.